right, that's it.
In this episode, I break down all the futuristic questions that I'll be asking myself. So this is actually one of the pretty cool daily meetings that we do, or that I've done thus far, because I think about when my company's already 25 moves ahead of most people. I'm 25 moves ahead of what most people think. So these are some weird questions that I'm asking. I'm asking questions that really have no real answer. And every day I wake up and I attempt to make my company answer these unanswerable questions, because I understand the moment that I focus on them enough is the moment that the universe would give me that answer, and then I take this company to just heights that's never been seen before. So that's what this episode is about. Feel free to write down these questions. I believe maybe I'll even include them in the show notes for you. They're pretty cool. So I hope you enjoy this episode, because I really enjoyed asking these crazy questions to myself.
Monday meetings are always super exciting to me. I always have to not get too excited, because I got like all weekend to think about what we've done, all mistakes, wins, victories, how many times I got punched in the face. And then I also get to, well, I would say relax. I'm not sure if I ever relax, but I get to stop thinking about, I don't ever relax, but I get to stop thinking about the business.
No,
yeah. But I stop thinking about the business. I start thinking about something else. And then my subconscious continuously, more expertly thinks about the business better than I ever could. And that brings us into a realm of Zen and any other, nirvana, this pick of these different things that just takes from all of those things. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing in the first place. So I'm excited. So there's a bunch of stuff here. First, Deanna, I want you to, I told you to do a few things. Do you know what they are? Or tell me what you need to do that I'm not supposed to know you need to do, or something like that, or something that's on your agenda to fix. Let's do that first.
Your one sheet.
Okay, that's fair. Keep going.
I'm gonna send you some more Herald articles to do.
Okay, that's on me. I keep dropping the ball there.
I have some things to take care of for India, and then I have some things to take care of for the how can I say this without saying this? For the business that we have with Anthony and Carolina.
Okay. All right. Got it. So let me keep going and remind me to come back to that. Go ahead.
Okay. You have a financial conference that I need to schedule and we need to promote. And so much.
It's plenty. So
Yeah.
the Italian thing. 2 days we need to do. Grace, we need to come to the office 2 days this week for approximately 5 hours a day. So have that all sanitized and, smelling like your grandmother just washed dishes with the bleach. You know what I'm talking about. Or your mama, your parents ain't had you till late. So your mama, you understand? And you know what I'm talking about. They wash the dishes with the Clorox. You know what I'm talking about. You can't even, you need to go somewhere. It's cleanup time. Whitney Houston is jamming. Luther.
Mama was 29. Yeah. Daddy was
29? Okay.
Mama was 29. Daddy was 35.
That's pretty responsible. That's pretty responsible. So good stuff. All right, Deanna, go and pick up them 2 days real quick. Too easy.
Thursday and Friday.
Back
Hold
to back,
on.
just
No,
like
no,
that.
no. Wait, whoa, hold up.
Well, I don't know. Don't look at me. Don't ask me. While she's doing that, I'll tell you I can't tell you everything, but there is this successful international company. Well, yeah, they're international. They're just not in the U.S., but they're international. I think, yes, they're international. Yeah, they're in Africa, Mexico, Italy, France. Yeah, all over. They don't have any English-speaking classes whatsoever. And they came to me and Deanna to make them explode in the U.S. with our classes, and we have to teach stuff over there I let them choose. She's teaching some marketing and PR type stuff. I'm teaching some sales type stuff. That's what they wanted. I let them decide. Now, the reason why I decided to do this is it's real simple, really. It's extremely simple. It's typically it would seem like a conflict of interest, right? One education company coming to another education company, but that doesn't bother me. They're even on a network marketing, or they use maybe even a network marketing model or something like it. That doesn't bother me. It's simple, Grace. Can you guess why I would do this? It's super simple. Don't even guess. I'll save you the guess. It's the exposure, because what I'm going to do with it. It's two things, y'all. I want you to process this way. If I could be your first episode, second, third, fourth, or fifth episode, I'm in. If I could be your 100 episode, I'm in. 200 episode. If I was even your 1,000th episode, that's good. Your 37 episode is not really that attractive to me. Or anyone like me. Like, think about that. Attention, right? Attention. Well, I have massive pool in English-speaking countries. Not where there's not English-speaking countries. For instance, I got one side of Africa on lock. They have the other side of Africa. It's the French-speaking side of Africa on lock. Yeah, see it? I want you to think about why Facebook bought Instagram. Because Facebook understood that here's this business that is obliterating the mobile device. And Instagram is basically the first ever app that dominated the mobile device purely. It's normal to y'all now, but when Instagram first came out, you were on your phone. But now, you literally just use Instagram mobilely. So why did Facebook buy for a record at the time $1 billion? It's because it was in a country or a device or a platform that Facebook didn't have dominated, which was mobile. That's not to say people didn't use their mobile devices for Facebook. That's just to say Instagram only is cell phone, mobile device related. Only. So you should know that sometimes I would do a strategic partnership if I see an advantage that will put me somewhere that I don't have a stronghold on. And all I have to do is get that door open. I'll take care of the rest. it's free information that wasn't part of the meeting. There was some teachable stuff in there. I don't know if anybody caught something. If you did, you're more than welcome. If you did not, you're more than welcome to ask me a question. If you did, you're more than welcome to ask me a question or make a comment. Up to you. You got the days for your idea?
Wednesday and Friday.
All right. So take care of those. Yes, sir.
I listened to a podcast this weekend, and it was the chairman of Procter & Gamble who sat on the board of Disney. And he was talking about they were really had trouble with the China situation about them knocking off their DVDs and selling them. And so they were brainstorming about security and getting the police involved and all sorts of different ideas. And Steve Jobs spoke up and says, guys, you don't get it. He goes, what do you mean? He says, they're selling them for $1. You sell yours for $2. He says, well, you can't make money doing that. He said, yeah, but what you do is you reinforce your brand. We're opening our theme park there. We've got other movies coming out. We've got all sorts of things that we can do. So we can extend our brand in China very easily by letting people pick up the DVDs at a loss leader for us. And that locks them into what Disney has to offer. So the point, I think his name is John Pepper. The point he made was Steve Jobs just thought differently than everybody else. And because of that, that's why Apple is what Apple is today.
Facts. And that was a fantastic, y'all need to start listening to podcasts if you don't. That was a fantastic example of what I'm talking about, and a better one as well. Brand over sales. Brand over sales. Now, of course, look, I forgot to even tell you, there's money involved. I don't even remember how much, and I don't even care. That has nothing to do with it. It's, I don't know, it might be, I think it was something like 10%. It don't even matter. Whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't. I want where I'm not at. Y'all get what I'm saying? Where I'm not at is where I want. Especially when I'm in a neighboring country trending and the one right there speaks French and I'm not. We can't have that. We can't have that at all. So just, process that however you want to process it, and, that's free information. Now, I'm going to do the rest of this meeting. Well, anybody want to say anything right now? Anything? All hearts and minds clear? No? Phil?
Yeah, I just booked Michael Burt for our June 1st Bureau of Dominant Speakers.
Good stuff.
He will be on that call. So what I suggest we do is we put out to our sphere of influence an opportunity to invite them buy that book. Because if you notice, the subtitle of the book is, and what a coinky dinky, the name of the book is Inside the Mind of a Monster. A legendary creature that, you ready? Dominates the market. Bureau of Dominant Speakers. A legendary creature that dominates. I got goosebumps with that one. That dominates the market. So, I mean, it's a short little book, and I think I used three highlighters as I was reading it because it's got so much, but it's got fill in the blank. It's really a nice little process for us to understand that where we need to be today, that, I know it's a Bureau of Dominant Speakers, but we need to position ourselves as experts, and speakers is just one of the categories in which we get our information out. And that's what he does in this. And he does just a good little book. And I think I'm really excited about having him on the call on June the 1st. We got some time. I was going to try to have him do a surprise, but I thought what would be more valuable for the group would be tell them when he's coming and have them get the book and work through the book so they can talk to the horse's mouth as opposed to me, the other end of the horse.
That is true. I'm excited. He's a rock star, and I'm supposed to meet him 2 or 3 times already. And me being the introvert, right, Deanna? You don't have to stop me from doing that. You're really going to have to stop me from doing that.
I will.
You have to.
It's already done. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
All right.
It's taken care of.
Let me just say, I mean, I've blown off. Well, not blown off. I have just decided to read a book in the privacy of my home in February, before the whole Corona thing started. I kind of chose a book over 6 or 7 millionaires and 1 millionaire. I have a bad habit of being an introvert, so I just keep
It's okay.
on.
It's okay. I'm going to bring you over to the light. I'm
Well,
going to bring you over
see,
to the light of
in
extrovert.
fairness, y'all, these meetings be at like 7:30 p.m. and I'm just done. I just don't work that way. I'm a early riser. By that time, if you don't know the difference between intro and extrovert, it has nothing to do with, being outgoing or, I like people or whatever.
Right.
I have extreme extroverted skills that I picked up along the way. That's not what makes you an introvert. It's not what makes you an extrovert. It's simple psychologically. Extroverts draw energy from people. The more you're around, the more you get gassed up. Introverts, interaction with people is like physical exercise. We lose energy being around people, period. It's just that simple. So if you're a person who can be around people and you just increase in energy, as look at Grace. You just increase in energy over time, you're an extrovert. If you decrease in energy, and I'm not saying, sometimes I miss them. No. Decrease in energy, as if it's physical exercise, then you're an introvert. Now, of course, there's some ambiverts out there. We'll leave that discussion alone. You can't be a mixture of two, but that's the cycle. It's more than psychological. That's the chemical response. So by 7:30, y'all, I'm dead. I'm absolutely out of there. I feel like I've been running the 23K or something. I don't know. I hate those meetings. So if you know me, that's why all my meetings, that every time y'all meet with me, is typically very early, and it's rarely after 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Because by that time, I'm all peopled out, and I get into my thing, and I push people away. But that's Deanna's trying to fix that. God bless her. Wow, thank you for being vulnerable. Yes, you're welcome, Law. If you want to comment on that, how have I helped you? How have I helped you? Because let me just tell you, it's not blowing people off, but it comes off that way. Of course, they're not mad, but it's still just, pray for me. Deanna, you going to fix that?
Antonio,
Go ahead, Susan did Law.
we're so much alike in so many things in this, saving everything that we have to reuse and all those things that we've through all of our times together. One thing that you might do is break your day up into 2 days, because then you have more time, because, we do have the evening calls and that 10 o'clock killer call. What you can do is in mid-afternoon, take a sanity break and have a cup of tea or whatever, calming that's healthy, and go off to a quiet place and rest for an hour. And if you need to,
that.
then you have then you're fresh and you are more inviting to people. That's what works for me. As I know, at 3 o'clock, I'm kind of done with people.
Yes. Yes.
So in order to make it work, you need to, go outside and play in your garden a little bit, have a cup of tea, I say I'm resting my eyes. I'm usually holding my teacup and it kind of pours over onto my lap. But but that is very refreshing, and it's healthy, and it's a good thing to do. And I think you'll have a better rest of the day and evening.
Hey everyone, it's me, Antonio T. Smith Jr. If your work life is anything like ours at the Secret to Success podcast, it's been turned upside down recently, and we're all adjusting to the new world of remote work. My friends at LinkedIn Learning, they're here to help you and your teams, not only to stay productive at home, but also support all of your well-being. For a limited time, LinkedIn Learning is offering a wide variety of their most popular online courses for free. You can hear from real-world experts like me who share tips and how to cope with stress or manage a remote team, or even look great on video conference calls. There are also plenty of courses for salespeople, recruiters, small businesses, and much more. Check out the free LinkedIn Learning courses and share them with your teams. I'm sure that they would appreciate the extra support right now. And if you want to learn more about LinkedIn Learning, the trusted online learning solution for 78% of Fortune 100 companies, their consultants are always available to chat. Visit linkedinlearning.com/STS. That's linkedinlearning.com/STS to explore dozens of free courses. Once again, that's linkedinlearning.com/STS.
Deanna, make that happen. Because I agree. Look, I felt good as she was saying, like it was like she was recharging me as she was saying it.
I'm not an introvert, and Susan touched my soul when she
said it. Let me tell you, I just message Deanna and say I'm an extrovert and I'm done with the people at 3 p.m. That's just me.
Super done.
Guys,
super done.
Kids, whole countries do that. It's called a siesta. Europe, Italy does that. Greece does that. Mexico does that. Whole countries do that.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Law. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Deanna, Susan, Law. Y'all just jump in there.
To add to what Phil just said, I can't remember what I was doing, but I was doing some research about something, and it showed that Americans have higher stress levels, higher deaths related to stress, and then higher something else due to the fact that we do not vacation like other countries do.
Yep.
Like Phil was just saying, there are whole countries that after lunch they don't do anything. Like lunch is their biggest meal, and they rest like for 2 hours or so after that. There are some countries that vacation. They take regular vacation, like it, and it's not like they don't have to worry about going to their boss and saying, hey, can I get this time? No, it's like a weight of life for them, versus us here in America. We don't take vacations like that. We don't request time off. We don't do that. And because of that, we have the highest level of stress. We have the highest level of deaths related to stress, and so much. So just to add on to what Phil just said, Americans be tripping. But okay, that's my little piece.
Well, there's the whole thing about that. Go ahead, Susan.
Well, to make that work in the way we run this business and the way we work, from the minute we get up till we go to bed, pretty much, with a little quiet time before we go to sleep, have lunch at 2:00, because then when you have your lunch, you can have that cup of tea, that quiet time, and just take a little rest. All I need is 15 minutes of my eyes closed and kind of a little sleep, and then I'm refreshed, and then I get moving again. So have a later lunch, and then take that rest. Then instead of like noon lunch, 2:00, and then so by 4:00. I mean, some people need from the 2 to 4. I don't know, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, and then with us, because we work in the evenings, and we've always worked in the evenings, and the kind of work we do, then you're refreshed and you can work until 10 o'clock and feel good about it, 9 or 10 o'clock, whatever. Now we're pushing the envelope on both ends. So that's kind of in line with that whole, what they do in Europe.
Well, and they go to less wars, don't they? Law, you want to jump in, man? I know you said I was helping you, and then Liddell put in the chat. He was helping. He got help.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's something I started doing a while back. And let me start off by saying this. Like when I was sitting in my barber chair and like I was halfway going to sleep, you said some of the wise words to me. You said, like, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to get yourself some rest. Because I can tell, like, from like how I was looking and I was completely drained. So with that said, like, yeah, during like me doing a lot of activities, I make myself kind of escape from everything so I can reset mentally and physically so I won't drain out because I'm looking at the long game. Then I get back in.
Well, you ahead of me on that one, brother. Let me just tell you, you ahead of me on that one. You running
far.
laps around me.
not too far. You're gonna be there soon.
Okay, good. I know I was on the train, but whenever you can unmute, Law, just go ahead or cut your camera on and I'll see you, and then I'll stop. Now, I've got some stuff, y'all. I just wanted to share that. I don't know why it came out, but, the universe is always in control. With the umbrella. All right. Now, is that blocking the New York sun?
No, it's rain.
Okay.
Snowing yesterday.
You are a type of brother that'll put out an umbrella because it's too hot outside.
Nah, I like the heat.
Okay.
I like for my skin to glisten. I want to look like a cocoa bean.
That makes sense. Go ahead, man.
What I was going to say is, no, I really appreciate you saying that because it humanizes you, which is great for all of us because we all go through those moments or what have you. But then it had me pondering, am I an introvert? I know I'm not, but I do grow with moments. I do go with moments where I just don't want to be bothered with any human. And I just need my time and my sanity to myself. But then it just has me questioning it. Because I do love to be around people, what have you, but there are moments where I don't want to talk to you. Don't call me. Don't touch me. That's it. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Appreciate you, man. That umbrella is stunning. Law just don't do nothing
This
regular.
is actually my father's umbrella. And it's interesting. I found it in his apartment. My father never was able to really travel, and I found this after he passed. And I'm just like, man, if he would have known about this umbrella, he could have seen the clouds. Because every time I fly, I would always send him pictures and videos of the clouds. And lo and behold, when I got this umbrella, it reminded me of him because it has planes and clouds in it. So it's very dear to me.
Well, good stuff, man. Sounds like a good memory to me. Man. Hold on to that. Protect it. Embrace it. Phil said if it never rained, we all be a bunch of dust.
Law said it was snowing yesterday in May. Snowing in May.
You know what? It was cold yesterday in Texas.
Yeah. Reggie said in New York and Chicago, it was cold, snowing, and it was colder than the winter that they had. I said, what is going on?
Global warming is not real, though, it's not, let's see, and all that stuff. It's anyway, don't get me started. Do not get me started on that. That's the one that burns me up. I can take anything else, but that one burns me up because science, right? But anyway, go ahead, Deanna.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
With the world and the weather starting to seem crazy again, when they shut down the world, like when they literally shut down the world, there wasn't as much toxin in the air. There wasn't as much. Even Phil said that the world wasn't wobbling. The earth wasn't wobbling as much as it was before. So now with them opening back up, is the weather Google? Is the change in the shift in the weather with it snowing and being cold in Chicago and New York in May have anything to do with any of that, and the fact that it was pretty cold yesterday?
No. Weather and climate are two different things.
Okay.
Think about, I'll draw it for you.
Thank you.
Science. Oh, let me stop my screen. Science. This science, God dog it, right? This argument burns me up because science. The whole point of science is to not be subjective. That's the point. It's to be objective. But anyway, I'll draw it for you so you can understand, and then I'll blow your mind with some details. Think about this whiteboard as a beach. Okay, everybody, you see the whiteboard on my screen. If you're just an audible, I have a whiteboard on my screen. It's a beach. Now, Deanna's going to walk her dog, and they're going to go to this point right here. This point is where they're going to walk to, and they're currently at this point. If you're in audible, audio only, think of the beach as 4 quadrants. Top left would be quadrant one. Top right would be quadrant 2. Bottom right would be quadrant 3. Bottom left would be quadrant 4. I placed the starting point at quadrant 4, bottom left, and have the end point at quadrant 2, top right. Now, Deanna's walking her dog. Climate pretty much will stay steady on a steady course. Your dog, on the other hand, would do all this, zig and zagging all over here. Chase something over here, chase something over there, go over here, and come back when you had to run it, and you had to do all this, and you could go, and the dog go over there and sees a seagull, and it comes back over here. You see it? And this is where we go, oh my God, that was a category 5. I can't believe it. And you go over here, oh my God, that was a blizzard we never seen before. Then you get the regular stuff. And it goes all the way. Oh my God, it's snowing in April or May. Oh my God, it's 99 degrees in New York, and then all this stuff. And eventually you get your dog to this point. The dog is weather. The straight line was climate. You get me so far? Over time, and by time, I mean lots of years, you can look at this climate line. So I'll put these 2 points back out. And let's say this is normal. What's happening here is we were on this pace, and then now it's doing this. Climate, not the dog, but climate.
Can I ask something?
Yes, go ahead.
So that's basically like thousands of years ago when they were talking about the Ice Age, and now you have this present day, completely different climate. I want to make sure I'm trying.
That is, all right, repeat your question, but I think you're right. Go ahead.
No, well, I'm basically trying to put together what you're saying. So, thousand years, there's Ice Age, right? Correct?
That's correct.
Completely different degrees. And thousands of years, the present is now, it's a lot more warmer than it was 1,000 years ago. Is that what you're
All right, so that's climate. That's climate.
Okay,
that's
I just wanted to make sure I was correct.
That's absolutely correct, yes. That's absolutely correct. And we have, as far as tropical climate goes, the North Atlantic current pretty much controls. Let me just say control. If there's a nerd out there like me, don't beat me up for saying control, okay? But controls pretty much the climate for the northern hemisphere. It's called North Atlantic current. You can Google it yourself. It's there. Just why do I know this information? I don't know. Okay, I just remember everything I see, so I don't know. It just happens. Photographic memory. Just blame that, or bless me for having a photographic memory. But yeah, so that's the difference between climate and weather. That's that. Weather is sporadic. Sporadic meaning can come out of nowhere. Climate is, you can look at it. We've had a lot colder. Well, anyway, the reason why that burns my chives it's because you don't politicize science. You just don't do that. Just don't do that, okay? Just don't freaking do that. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to politicize climate. We need to do a better job. Go do something else. Just not climate. You've got scientists who vote left and right. Moderate scientists, progressive scientists, all saying the same thing. Right? So, anywho. All right, so let me blow your mind with this. I spend every day thinking about how to get this company to the #1 company in the world. And that, the way you are talking, I spend most of my life trying to get this company to the #1 company in the world. And I think of some insane stuff. All right, y'all? I'm going to share some of that stuff with you. You are more than welcome to put it into your business. You've grown. You are more than welcome not to. Again, you're grown. At the very least, you will see how my brain works and how far ahead my thinking is than what I let on, and what people would ever imagine. Period. In order to understand what I'm talking about here in a second, you need to understand when I say ATS, I'm not thinking about what you think ATS is. That's not what I'm thinking. When I say ATS, it means something different. It means something like Alphabet. Anybody from it? Can someone tell me what Alphabet is? It's a company now. Someone tell me what Alphabet is.
Parent of Google.
All right then. Fantastic. Parent company of Google. Google got so big, created a parent company called Alphabet, and Alphabet is now the parent company of Google. So when I say, well, let me break it down for more people to understand. So that would be Google Android, Google Maps, Google Translate, Google itself, the now defunct Google Hangouts, YouTube, all this. Google has 5 different products with over 1 billion active monthly users. That's incredible. Did y'all hear that? Okay. Either I'm not talking well, or y'all not excited about business, because when you got 5 products that have 1 billion.
I hear you.
Okay. God, dog. They got 5 products with 1 billion with a B. Cat Williams got on stage and said, you ought to be able to kill somebody that's saying billion in a direction. Okay? 1 billion active monthly users a month, 5 different products. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Christ walked on the earth 1 billion minutes ago.
That's insane. It's insane. And cool thing about science, getting back on my climate soapbox here, the same carbon and oxygen and nitrogen that we are breathing in today, 1 billion minutes ago, as Phil just said, it's the same carbon, oxygen, nitrogen that Jesus was breathing in then. That's the great thing about science. Energy can never be created, can never be destroyed. It's objective. Don't be stupid. Science, okay? Sorry, I'm probably going to do that again. 1 billion active monthly users for 5 different products, and of course, they're not stopping there. And so I think to myself, how in the hell am I going to do that? I'm not doubting. Don't get it twisted. The how in the hell doesn't come from a place of doubt. It comes from a place of, now they know smarter than me. they did it, how can I do it? Then I have to say to myself, well, God dog it, there's nobody in my industry trying to do that. So now I don't have any examples, but I have models in different industries. It is at this moment, in this meeting, talking to everybody, the team, all that, I want all of you to process what I'm getting ready to say. Reggie, this is about your book. Grace, this is about math. Liddell, this is about church. Justin, this is about the e-commerce business. I'm telling y'all, listen to me. I'm getting ready to say, because I'm going to ask a series of questions I ask myself. I'm going to tell you what I'm asking myself. And if I were you, I would steal these questions. I'm going to give away too much information. I would literally be making myself vulnerable because someone can steal it. But you know what? I'm an action guy. You're probably not going to do nothing with it, at least 99% of you. How in the heck do I go pass up Google when I'm not even? Well, first off, I didn't start this business in 1998 like they did. Don't come from Stanford. And then their algorithm is just the greatest algorithm on planet Earth because it just collected more data than anybody else. How do I go after Apple? How do I make people argue that Apple is better than Android? How do I go after Google and make people argue that Android is better than Apple? You know how great you have to be for a page search company to make people argue about if their cell phone is better than Apple? Have you ever thought about Google is not a phone company. That doesn't make sense. Google is a software company. Google don't sell phones, they sell software, they sell operating systems. But this page rank company has people arguing over if Android is better than Apple. That's incredible. That's incredible. So I've got some questions here. This is what I asked myself. How can I make ATS the Instagram and TikTok of business? That question makes no sense. But I promise you, I'm going to figure it out. I think that's what entrepreneurs do. I think entrepreneurs ask dumb questions about perfectly good things that work fine, and then we try to break it, because that's what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs go.
I'm just feeling this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like honestly, it's our job to screw up what society thinks is norm, and then they're gonna think of us crazy until it catches on, and then at that present time, you're a genius. I mean, that's been told throughout time. I mean, every little invention and much more. I mean, even from the times of like when we thought like flying a plane was insanity, and thinking it was just for the birds, and at that time,
the human body couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and if I was to say at that moment, like, one day we're going to fly like the birds, they probably would have laughed me out. Every church would have mocked me, called me the devil, and all that much more. And now,
you got stoned for being a witch. Then it drowned you.
So it's like innovation is the key to progression, but it's just crazy society resents it so much. It's like we haven't figured it out. I don't know.
You know what? Don't figure it out, because society becomes your customers, and you need customers. So don't even trip.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. You know, let them do that. You need customers, so it's all good. The poor will be with you always. Amen. Just gotta give it to you real. Go ahead.
Antonio, you saying that just made a whole lot of sense to me. The not figuring it out and just let them, that made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, who gonna buy from you if they don't? You don't want everybody making your idea. Then ain't nobody gonna buy from you. Right?
Makes a lot of sense because you're the problem solver. Got it.
Yeah. Everybody can't have your podcast. Anybody gonna listen to it? Yeah, no. You let the poor. When I was doing something one day, and somehow, and I wasn't even reading the Bible. It just dropped in my head one day. Source was just like, the pool gonna be with you always, right? And it's like time stopped, Grace. And I realized no matter what I do, Grace, I hold my daily meetings open to the public. I give out tens of thousands of dollars a month, free content. And no matter what I do, some people are still gonna look at it and go, huh? It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I literally had somebody argue with me last night. Now, foolish for them because I don't participate in arguments no more. Literally just went on this text storm because I didn't meet with them Friday. For one, I don't owe you nothing. Two, you don't pay for nothing. You're not that high on my priority list. It just is what it is. I've got business to run. And it's a beautiful thing to understand those people are going to be with you always.
Ooh, can I say one more thing? You just got me going.
Yes, sir.
One thing I have been, and at first, I'm not going to lie, I was feeling guilty for this. But with you saying this, that actually makes a lot of sense because at times I was giving people who wasn't even paying, just trying to even out, but not like had a talking to myself like, look, the people that actually pay for your time, put those first. The rest can be at a later time because they need your priority. They paid for your time.
They pay for access. Entrepreneurs make people pay for access. It is what it is. Okay? It's what it is. How can I make ATS the TikTok or Instagram of business? Now, why did I pick TikTok and Instagram? Though? It has nothing to do with the billion users, right? You got to be thinking about what I'm thinking about. Those are two products that are dominating the cell phone. I need y'all to process that, yo. I need you. I really, 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 really need you. TikTok makes 0 cents. Okay? 0 cents. It just doesn't make sense. Instagram makes more sense than TikTok. Let me explain. You really are. When Phil tell y'all you live better than kings and queens of past, you do. Because 90% or something like that of the world is legible. They can read. Literate, I say legible. Literate. They can read. The internet is mostly text. You don't realize that, but it's hard to use the internet if you can't read. It's just hard. So I get Instagram because it's pictures so I can see so I don't have to read. Makes sense. Go on Instagram, pretend to be famous, look famous, it's all good. TikTok is videos, minute or less, very little reading involved, but we still put reading in there, right, to make them even more funny. We still put reading in there. But we shouldn't have the data for this. When you process streaming remotely 4-generation internet to watch videos seamlessly at 30 frames per second Some of them 60 frames per second. That don't make no sense from a nerd perspective. Yet, Instagram and TikTok own these. They own them. So when I say, how can I make ATS with TikTok or Instagram a business? You see what I'm saying now, Chris? Think about that. I'm not saying, oh, let's have fun. That's cool. I will. I'm saying, how can we own this? I haven't figured it out yet, but it's a question that I got going on. And every day, y'all, I wake up, universe, run me that answer. Universe,
I'll just start thinking crazy thoughts. That's not normal.
That's exactly. That's the only one I'm gonna figure out. It's a crazy question. It's a crazy question. I may be the only businessman alive attempting to make business as attractive and addicting as entertainment from an Instagram and TikTok perspective. It's a crazy question, which will lend me from the universe a crazy answer that will then change the world.
Isn't that what Apple did from like the promotions earlier?
Yes, absolutely. Apple made but the difference between Microsoft and Apple are there's stark differences. They couldn't be, now they're a bit more alike, but the revolution of the both, they couldn't be more opposite. They just couldn't be more opposite. They just picked two good guys, two superheroes, and boom, polar opposite. Aquaman and Batman or something. Just something that just don't make no sense. Microsoft is more like Henry Ford. So Bill Gates is more like Henry Ford. And Apple made personal computers. Even though PC goes to Microsoft, Apple made computers customizable, personal. The idea of personal computers. Microsoft straight assembly lined. Microsoft made computers, this is the genius of Bill Gates, affordable for your grandmother. That's crazy. And then made it user-friendly for her. Here's even what's more crazy. In like 89, they did that. That sounds normal now. This was almost 30 years ago they did that. It's incredible. They sold you their software. What makes Apple so different is Apple, since it owned its hardware, gave you the software for free. And what you see now today is that model. Everyone gives away their software for free for the most part, or they lease it now. Remember Photoshop used to cost, and Chris, you're a photographer, Photoshop used to cost $2,000. Easy, depending on which kind you get. Now they get it to you for $9.99 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is going on that leasing thing because you give it away for free. Apple sells you their hardware, gives you their software for free. That's the genius of Apple. So take any one of the business models, that's free information. Good job, Chris, for pulling that out of me. Then I'm thinking to myself, how can we get users to log on to ATS 2 hours a day? Let me preface this. Like Reggie, Grace, Deanna, yeah, you should be writing these questions down because I want to figure this out, and y'all need to help out, or you need to come up with an idea. Like, even if you don't come up with an idea, you're going to be thrown into the answer or the possible solution. how do I make Instagram? I mean, how do I make ATS and Instagram or TikTok that, you know, of business? How do we get people to log in for 2 hours a day? I know Satish's brain is wiring on that one. That's a lot. That's a lot. 2 hours a day, that's, I don't know, 20,000 times more than you log into Facebook or something. Who knows? Or just, it's a lot. 2 hours a day is asking a lot. You don't eat for 2 hours a day. So I'm saying, how can I get you to log in when you eat? Most people go to church for 2 hours a week. You know, you go once a week for an hour and 15-minute service. Go ahead, Deanna.
Can you repeat that question for me again? How you rephrased it the first time?
How do we get users to log on to us 2 hours a day? Like, get ready for this. Rapid fire. I'll do you a favor, Dan. I'll post them as I type them. And I have a link with that too. Because these are my real notes. Like, this is, there you go. If y'all want to steal that, it's Facebook Insights, like literally insights for Facebook by another company. Very welcome. And, you know, how many people on it? You just look at it and it all makes sense. If you look at it, it makes sense. If you're just inaudible, basically, well, let me just click it so y'all can see it. So there's 18 statistics that every marketer should know in 2020. You know, I'll skip the stuff, but, you know, just demographics. You probably did not know that 65 and up is the fastest growing user base on Facebook. You probably did not know that. But my data proves that. You know, fewer teens obviously use Facebook less. Only 10% of users live in the US or Canada. That's insane. But I've been told you about Asia Pacific a year and a half ago. So, you know, you're just gonna have to deal with that. You know, just some stuff. And I'm just, all right, so Facebook, you doing this? Me too. I'm the jealous girlfriend or boyfriend of Facebook. Oh, you going to the store? Me too. I'm going too. I don't trust them. You understand? I wish I had somebody that know what I'm talking about. Oh, you going to the club? Me too. You understand? That's how I'm doing Facebook. All right, y'all doing this? Me too. I'm going to. So that's that. More questions. These get deeper. How can I use the 4 major social media platforms to grow like Instagram did? Because that's how they grew. How can I disrupt the major 4 players? All right, so those 2 right now kind of heard me mention on another call. And I went back and I said, well, let me go deeper. Let me go deeper. All right. How do we make people look good? How does ATS make people instantly look? This is a hard one, y'all. Listen, everybody lean in. This question don't make no sense. I'm about to ask. Don't make no sense. It makes no sense. But Instagram did it. And they got me messed up if they think ATS ain't going to do it. Michelle, how can we make people instantly look good and professional, one of a kind, like the Instagram filters? That's deep. If you're not processing that, let me help you out. What makes Instagram so great, like there wouldn't even be no Snapchat filters, right? There wouldn't even be no filters, period, right? Without Instagram. What makes Instagram so great, which I totally slept on, is Grace can take a photo and then go in Instagram, and Chris had to spend thousands of dollars on this software to touch up photos. Instagram was like, yo, don't even worry about that. We got you. And then literally in 7 seconds, Grace can act like, not be as good as Chris with a camera, but come off as good as Chris with a camera. And that's the only thing people care about. Not being Chris. Just, oh, me too, right? Go ahead, Michelle. Y'all will catch that later. That was real deep. Go ahead, Michelle.
I actually have a answer to that.
Go ahead,
question.
give it to me.
And this is that cosmetology coming out. Doing when you say professional and makeup, how can you instantly make them look better and make up a makeover basically?
Mm-hmm.
That's just it, makeover.
Makeover. Got it.
Yep.
Let me write that down under here. So makeover.
Yep. And you can do that can be a professional makeover, whatever type of makeover you need it to be, whatever look you need it to have.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because how can I do that instantly? You're right. I'm writing this down, but this would need to be instantly.
Mary Kay and Avon both have they both have a thing set up to where you can go on there when you become a rep or whatnot, and you can instantly do makeovers where it'll show up as far as talking about the makeup, how it looks, and all that. You can create this where Satish will come into this part. You can make that to where you could use something like that, and as well have a part as far as their dress, their attire, and everything to look professional as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they can, just like they have these memes now that you can scan your face, pick a picture of your face, and it'll create where you can put glasses on it or makeup, however you choose the color and things like that. So that's how you would do instantly.
Got you. Makes sense. Right. That makes sense. I got it down. Chris?
I want to add something like to all that that's even deeper. And like I just look from the outside in, but Instagram was like a genius in this because it caters strongly to women. And that's majority of the market. So if you can help women look good, make them feel good, of course, your amount of users that hop in is going to be that much even more greater. And then you help them get even more attention. So heck, the social media is going to become popular. So I was looking at that.
I just wrote that down. I didn't even think about helping women look good. So good stuff there. Good stuff there. Just wrote that down. Let me just give you a few more things I'm thinking. I know Deanna get this. I don't know how many of y'all use Clickfunnels. Phil said in chat, make them laugh. Carol said recession. I want y'all to check this question out. How can ATS make business models duplicatable like Clickfunnels does sales funnels models?
Are you trying to break the systems?
Boy, if I figure that out, like, if I figure out how you come in and we got 90 different, maybe more, 360 different business models that would instantly make you successful. Just, let me stop talking.
Just go ahead and put you on Shark Tank.
I got one word, one site for you.
Mm-hmm.
Speed plan.
As in B, as in letter B, like Bravo?
Yep.
B plan.
B plan. And what that is basically it's a site of different industries, different genres with business plans.
Got it. I see it now. It sounded like birth control at first when you said it. B plan.
Oh, wow. So after that, there you go, right there, B plan.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, here it is right here. So shout out to B plans. There it is right there. That's what she's talking about. Good stuff. All right, cool. Yeah. Liddell said I'll figure it out. I appreciate you, man, because I am gonna figure out. These are questions. Yeah, this is questions I'm asking. I only got a few. Well, I got plenty more, but I'll give you just a few more.
I just thought of something, and I don't know. Have you? Well, what if we had, or probably daily or weekly, where it's like mastermind brainstorming? Because sometimes it's good to like pitch in different things to find out a solution. I don't know, it's just something that is just.
Nah, that's a good idea. How?
I don't know how to format it, but I just like.
How can
just like
create? How can we create how can we encourage the ease of users creating mastermind groups? Write this down for me, Deanna. How can we create ease of users creating mastermind groups that they run on their own and creates communities, think tank communities for their own businesses? That's dope. Man, just send it to me so I can. So that's, yeah. Here's another one. It gets crazier, y'all. It gets crazier. How can we make, Grace, check me out. How can we make ATS a tool that makes people measure their cultural relevance, whether it's in a school, an interest-based community, or in the world? I want you to think about that. How can people say, yo, if you ain't on ATS, man, look here, look. If you're not using them, you ain't, come on, y'all know, you know what I'm talking about.
You got my brain going. Wouldn't that help out with targeting marketing and saving time?
Yes, it will. But not just, but see, I threw a word in there, Chris. See, I'm glad I got this brain going. I threw a word in there that puts me in check. Tool. So that means I need to create a tool. Somehow ATS needs to be something not for us, but for you. And then you use this tool to instantly create cultural relevance in your community, in your culture.
I got one. What about making like a franchise system? My bad.
Franchise will work. No, it's good. It's good. Go ahead, Michelle.
An app with resources, resources for learning, setting up businesses and things like that. Just what we do with you now, what you do for us, set it up in an app. Easy access. People are more acceptable to the apps now. So there you go.
Yeah. And I'll give you one more. Let me pick the. All right. Ooh. You know, I can keep going on and on and on. I really can. I keep going on and on. I'm gonna read it first, and I don't want y'all to look at the comments first. But it's in there. How can we be number one at making the people who strive for digital recognition and validation, as well as business recognition and validation, talking to me now. So basically that says, how can we be number one for making people strive for digital recognition and validation, the business recognition and validation? How can I as a CEO, me as a CEO, I need to be very conscious of the fact that as social media continues to blossom, separation of digital recognition and business recognition will continue to be non-existent. They will continue to merge into one another. Even as social media dies, and we know it will die, all things die. And when that happens, something else becomes newer. It still will keep the point that the addiction to digital recognition will almost certainly never die. To put that in simpler talk, how can ATS feed into that digital recognition, business recognition, but actually make you be warranted for that recognition? And then, how can ATS pump out instant celebrities, millionaires? I want you to think about this for a second. There are people, if you got 50,000 followers on Instagram, you can make a full-time living of posting other people's brands. All right, I'm landing the plane. You should be listening. This is 50,000 followers. You can literally make a living off of Instagram. Now think about that, because these are regular. Come on, y'all lean in, come on, because I don't want you to miss this. Because I slept on Instagram. I don't want you to miss this. Okay? My introvertism made me sleep on Instagram. I'm like Liddell in this case. So y'all listen. These people are not famous, but they are now from an app. They were not businessmen and women. Instagram has created more celebrities than anything ever before. They are not celebrities. They're celebrities now. They just amassed a large following and then monetized that following and became celebrities. And I'm saying, how can I tell people come to ATS and then you build a following with ATS of some type, whatever, whether it be in your business, however that works, and now you're ATS famous and can live off that, whatever that means. I don't know what that means yet. I don't know what that means. But think about that. That's crazy. That's business. That's crazy. I shouldn't be talking like this. That's crazy. Now, I got plenty more, but we're going to end the meeting right here. I know you think about your business every day. I know you do. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. I want to tell you two things. For one, if I were you, I would invite some one of these daily meetings that you want to work with or that you already work with so you can steal from me better. So Chris, you need to go get you a Deanna and bring her to this meeting. You feel what I'm saying? You already got one somewhere. You probably don't even know it. But she keep asking you, how can she help? Or maybe it's a he. You understand what I'm saying, Chris? Bring them through so y'all can bounce some ideas off each other. You never know. I promise you, if you and your business partners, y'all, was looking at Google and they daily meetings, in a year, your business would go through the roof. Yeah, promise you that. That's the first thing I'd tell you. The second thing I would tell you is just look at how far out I'm thinking about this company. Just look at that. That ain't had nothing. Y'all didn't hear me say nothing about no business, sales, marketing, education, classes. You didn't hear me say nothing about that. Nothing that I talked about was a product. I was not talking about the product. I was talking about the desired result that I want. I don't even know what the product is. It could be one product. It could be multiple products. I don't even know what the product is. I just know that this product is going to somehow morph into that. And this is the whole point of date the mission, other way around. Date the message, marry the mission, right? That's the whole point. That's why I always keep telling you that. Like, I can't do anything here the mission is to be number one. The message, whatever, is what it is. I want you to think about that, because I am in tune with super future stuff. To make a business product compete with a social media platform, two of the best, that's never been done before ever. LinkedIn is not doing that. As cool as LinkedIn is, and I like it, it's my favorite platform. That's not what they do. We're talking about something totally different. When I'm talking about creating a new LinkedIn, we're talking about something different. Anywho, that's what I got. I'll give you one more bonus for Justin. Nope. No, I won't. I'll give it to you next time. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Hope you got some value. Whew, my brain is smoking now. That's a lot. I haven't figured out those questions yet. All right, everybody. We'll see you later.
I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great, and you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have, it's not what you do, it's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to lead the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich, it's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now. So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, it's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money, or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy, I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class. I'm the crazy guy, famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of six-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down, and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following and my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, and that book is called The Richest Man in the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. And to be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. And that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then, as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost. I'll take the loss. And all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate.